Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everybody, and good afternoon to those of you who are on the East Coast. We are about 5 minutes from getting started at the top of the hour here. We're just waiting for everyone to get logged in and get their audio and video set up. We'll be back with you shortly. Good morning, everybody, and good afternoon to those of you who are on the East Coast. We are about 2 minutes away from getting started. All right, it is the top of the hour. Let's go ahead and get started. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. This webinar is about taking control of your online marketing with LawLytics. Just a couple housekeeping matters before we get started. This webinar is being recorded and it's going to be made available shortly after the presentation, so there's no need to take notes unless you'd like to do so. We won't have time to take questions during the presentation itself, but we are going to open up the discussion for questions at the end of the presentation. So if you have a question that you'd like us to answer, feel free to type that into the questions section of the GoToWebinar control panel, and we'll be able to answer those for you once we're done. And in the event that you're having any kinds of issues with the audio or the visual components of this webinar, please use the raised hand feature in the control panel, or you can always type us a message and we'll try to get that resolved for you as quickly as possible. So before we get started, I'd like to quickly introduce myself and my co-presenter, Dan Jaffe. My name is Victoria Blute. I'm the Director of Education here at LawLytics. And at LawLytics, we spend a lot of time and energy educating our members and the small and solo law firm community about the most effective ways to grow their revenue and their reputation online. I lead these efforts. I'm the voice of our legal marketing podcast and the curator of our educational videos and ebooks and articles and webinars. I come from a journalism background, and I'm passionate about showing attorneys how to easily succeed online on their own terms. So without wasting time or money, and without giving up their power in the marketing relationship. My co-presenter is attorney Dan Jaffe, who is the CEO and the co-founder of LawLytics. Dan has been licensed to practice law since 1998, and he spent over a decade as a small law firm owner, using the internet to build thriving law practices in both Seattle and in Phoenix before he went into legal technology full-time. And LawLytics is his second legal marketing technology company. The first was a national law directory that was acquired by a large internet company. And LawLytics, which was founded in 2011, is the dream legal marketing service and system that he would have liked to have had available to him while he was practicing law. So, what is LawLytics? LawLytics is a website marketing platform that is built exclusively for small law firms. It helps you save time, it helps you save money, and it helps you market smarter. And the end result is the ability to grow your practice without compromising. We provide high-performance websites, attorney-friendly software, and the support that you need to empower you to get more clients online without wasting time or money. LawLytics is built exclusively for you, the attorney, so that you can say no to overpriced marketing and take control of your online marketing without having to struggle with general do-it-yourself website software. LawLytics membership helps you grow without costly and risky SEO vendors and without becoming dependent on things like pay-per-click advertising. We make it easy for you to participate in your online marketing and turn your law firm's website into an appreciating asset that cost-effectively generates business over the long term. So LawLytics membership is for law firm owners who are ready to say no to overpriced marketing and take control of their online marketing without having to fend for themselves and without having to struggle with technology or design or strategy. So membership is a fully supported experience that lets you grow without losing control, without missing opportunities, and without sacrificing profits or quality of life. And there are really four major components of membership. Dan is going to discuss these elements in detail in just a moment, but here is a quick overview of what the process looks like. So membership starts with the creation of your law firm's website. We'll handle all of the technical and the design work for you. You can start with a brand new website, or you can have us import and improve your law firm's existing website. Our software powers your website and it puts you in control. So you'll be able to manage your marketing and leads. You'll be able to do things like quickly add and remove content. And it's cloud-based, so you'll always have the most recent updates and features. We will help you develop a strategy to efficiently meet your firm's goals. And this results in your law firm's website becoming a sustainable money-making asset that predictably produces the kind of business that you want. And you'll have the support that you need to reach your goals without struggling and without guessing. So we'll show you how to use the LawLytics software to easily market your firm. And if you ever have questions or if you need help, we're here for you. So you won't need to worry about any of the technical details of owning and running a website. We handle the hosting, we handle the maintenance, we handle the security, and all of the complex hardware and software infrastructure for you. So with LawLytics, you can be as independent or as supported as you choose, and you can adjust your level of engagement and service on the fly as your firm grows and as your needs evolve. So you'll never overcommit and you'll never end up paying for services that you don't need. I am now going to turn it over to Dan, and he's going to tell you about who LawLytics is for and how it puts you in control of your law firm's online marketing.
Great, thank you, Tori. Give me just a moment here while I get my screen sharing set up. Great, can you see my screen?
I can.
Okay, great. Well, hi, everybody. You're presumably here today because you're thinking about using LawLytics to either start or to improve your firm's existing website. So for the next 15 minutes or so, I'm going to give you information to help you determine whether LawLytics is a good fit for you and discuss the logistics of how LawLytics will help you reach your marketing goals and set your firm and your website up for long-term success. I co-founded LawLytics because as an attorney and an owner of a small firm myself, marketing was a big cause of stress and of uncertainty. And I also knew that it was top of mind and near the top of the worry list for many, if not most, of my attorney colleagues who owned small firms or solo practices. It's a bad feeling to worry about something in your practice that's beyond your control. If your marketing is beyond your control, then your practice is really in the hands of somebody else. And all too often, when attorneys delegate and give up control of their marketing, they're disappointed in the results. LawLytics is for attorneys who want to be in control of their website without having to worry about the technology, without having to worry about design, but who want to be able to show up and be able to participate and be influential in how their website and their marketing is reaching and communicating with their clients and potential clients. But what do I mean by control? With LawLytics, control means that you, the lawyer, have the ability to understand and to participate in your firm's online marketing so that you're never flying blind and you're never left powerless. It means that you have all the technology, the strategy, and the support that you need to get any result that you want from your website without having to take risks or leaps of faith and without ever having to bite off more than you're comfortable chewing, either in terms of expenses or in terms of burden on yourself and other members of your firm. With LawLytics, control means that you, the attorney, have the ability to easily drive your own marketing and to turn your law firm's website into a cost-efficient client generation machine. But it also means that you don't have to do any or all of it yourself if you don't want to. So with LawLytics, you can be as independent or as hands-off as you choose, and you can change your level of involvement and participation on the fly as your practice evolves. So In the early stages, you may want to participate more, and as your marketing gets really efficient, you may want to spend more time on clients and cases, back off that a little bit, and delegate more of it. And so LawLytics gives you a foundation so that once you're established with us, you never have to change technology, you never have to change companies as your practice evolves. The process of getting started with LawLytics is straightforward. If your firm is thinking about starting a new website, or if you're looking to improve a website that you already have, the process starts with an interactive demo. So during the demo, which typically lasts between 20 and 25 minutes, we'll show you how LawLytics will help your firm have a better, more efficient, more reliable website. And during that period, you'll have a chance to experience the LawLytics control panel firsthand for yourself and actually do some things in it. If there's a match at that point, then we can initiate your account, which takes about 5 minutes, and then start the setup process. The setup process, which I'll detail in the next couple of slides, is a bit different depending on whether you're starting a new website with LawLytics or having us migrate and improve your existing website into the LawLytics system. Either way, we take care of all of the technical and design details for you, and the process culminates in the launch of your LawLytics-powered website on the internet. Once your site is launched, then the real fun begins. LawLytics membership gives you everything you need to reach your website goals, whether that's maintaining the status quo or building a market-dominating website or anywhere in between. I'll talk more about how this works in a bit, but before we do, let's look closer at how starting a new website and improving an existing website works with LawLytics. When you're starting a new website with LawLytics, so this means a website from scratch that didn't previously exist or hasn't existed for a while, we can get your site launched typically in about 2 weeks. We've streamlined the process of getting a new website started to minimize the amount of time and the amount of energy that you'll need to invest to launch the website that will become highly successful. Our method works because we've eliminated the potential to make bad choices while at the same time providing your firm a professional looking website that maximizes your ability to attract and to close new business while at the same time differentiating yourself from your competitors. You'll have the opportunity, but not the obligation, to participate in the styling of your website, including choosing your layout, your colors, and your images. And oftentimes when attorneys are just getting started with their website, they don't have a logo. So if you need a new logo, we'll include an optional logo based on a lineup of professional logo templates that we have built specifically for our clientele in that process at no extra charge. And what we do at that point is we style it based on your colors, based on your firm's name, based on the images that you've selected depending on the logo. And so if you need that, that's turnkey as well. Before we launch your website, we'll need to add some initial content. Some attorneys prefer to write their own content. In fact, most of them do. About 95% of the people that come onto LawLytics write their own content. And some attorneys who launch a new website with us want to have us write the initial content for them, which is an additional service that's available at a nominal additional charge and makes the process completely hands-off. Whichever path you choose, the content that your site launches with will evolve over time. And the LawLytics system lets you easily add new content and easily edit existing content whenever you want. When the styling and the content of the initial website build are done, you'll be able to preview the site in the comfort of the LawLytics control panel. And then when you are ready for us to launch it, we take care of all of the technical launch details. And then we go into the post-launch process, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But before we do that, let's talk about what it looks like to move an existing website over to the LawLytics system. So the process for importing and improving an existing website is a bit different, as there are 2 additional steps. So once your account is initiated, we'll spend a little time looking at your current site or sites. Sometimes attorneys end up bringing multiple sites over or combining multiple sites that they have elsewhere into a single LawLytics website. So this process ensures that everything that's working for your firm is brought into and carried over into your new LawLytics-based site. And we'll be able to determine a definite timeline for launch during this phase. Larger sites where there's multiple hundreds of pages of content to import do take a bit longer than the smaller ones. So during the interactive demo, we can talk about logistics of that, and then you would get a very defined time estimate as we're going through the setup process. So if there are things that you like about the design of your current site, we'll look at those things together and decide what can be preserved. LawLytics has a very specific methodology for designing sites that's based on the science of how potential clients move through websites and how to influence them to do what you want, which is typically to reach out and contact your firm either through a form or through the phone. And so we want to make sure that we don't tread on that science piece of it, but at the same time, we're able to hopefully preserve the things that you like. Most often, the things that attorneys really like about their sites are either images or colors or logos. And in almost all cases, we're able to preserve those types of things. And if you already have a logo that you like on your current site, you can keep it, or you can have us update it for you based on what I talked about in the previous slide. When we import the content from your existing website or websites, we follow a fail-safe method that preserves everything of value so that you won't lose traffic, you won't lose potential clients during that transition, and people that have visited your site before, well, they're going to see an upgraded and improved design and user experience. All the same information that they were used to seeing, at least initially after launch, will be there until you decide to make any changes to it. So once your website is set up in the LawLytics system and your content is imported, we'll then launch your site. So we take care of all the logistics for you. And once it's complete, you'll no longer need your previous host as we take care of all of that. So you can get that expense off of your plate as well. Once your website is launched, you'll have the ability to grow your website at a pace that suits your firm. LawLytics membership revolves around the LawLytics technology, which handles all the logistics of having a successful website for you. You won't have to worry about any of the technical details, and you'll have the ability to log in and then to easily understand and work on your marketing from a web browser. While the individual features of LawLytics are beyond the scope of this short webinar, and we can go into detail about those during the interactive demo, I do want you to know that we built all the features from the ground up specifically for attorneys, and it's designed to make it as easy as writing an email or using a word processor. And so you don't need to know anything about coding or have any previous marketing experience to build a successful website with LawLytics. And as a LawLytics member, we'll teach you how to use the system, and we'll give you the strategy behind each of the features. You'll know what to do to reach your goals, and you'll have the option to easily do it yourself, which will allow you to grow while keeping your marketing overhead fixed and low. The main thing that you're going to want to do, and this is true regardless of whether you're on LawLytics or whether you're on any other system, when it comes to your website, the main thing that you're going to want to do to attract more potential clients is to write quality content. We'll teach you how to do this effectively, and we'll provide you a proven strategy based on the intersection of your location or locations, your practice types, and your firm's goals. It also takes into account your competition and what the general landscape of what you're facing to be successful looks like. It's common for our members to grow in spurts. For example, a new firm might launch their website with LawLytics and initially spend a lot of time creating content. That content then reaches a critical mass, and the firm ends up attracting more business than it can handle at that stage of its growth. So then the firm backs off of the marketing and content creation effort while it grows its capacity to handle more business, and then returns to the reliable efforts that initially catalyzed their growth. It's also common for our members to grow steadily and to adapt the way that they utilize LawLytics as they grow. For example, an existing firm might move their website over to LawLytics and initially have their attorneys who aren't at that point working at full capacity on money-making matters participate in their marketing by writing content. And then as that business grows, they may choose to allocate their attorney's time to the increasing caseload and then delegate the content creation either to our team of professional content writers or to any outside writer or content agency of their choice. And LawLytics provides built-in user management aspects so that if you do choose to delegate outside of the LawLytics ecosystem, you can do so safely and be able to monitor everything that your writers are doing and to be able to limit their access so that they can't access things like your client intake forms and other important data that you might not want somebody outside of your firm to see. It's fairly common for some of our members to reach their goals and then go into an efficient maintenance mode. For example, a solo practitioner who has no desire to expand her firm, but who wants a predictable number of high quality cases, might join LawLytics and follow our strategic plan, creating her own content until she's reached her ideal flow of new cases, and then take a more hands-off approach to her marketing, knowing that we're there maintaining and taking care of the infrastructure, the security, the backups, and essentially protecting her investment of time and money. And she also knows that her website is going to be kept active and up to date with all of the latest browser standards and methodologies. In this case, she now has predictable revenue flow at a fixed monthly cost, so she doesn't have to think about or worry about her marketing on a regular basis. Whichever path you're on now, and whatever your firm's goals happen to be, one thing is certain when it comes to small law firms. Plans change. New partners come in, old partners leave. New practice areas and opportunities emerge, and old lucrative practice areas wane as the laws, as technology, as attitudes change, and as competition moves in. Attorneys typically waste a lot of time and money changing website providers or systems as the realities of their practices and their businesses evolve. With LawLytics, you won't have to waste time and money because you'll be in control of how you evolve, and you'll be able to quickly and strategically pivot your marketing as your business realities change, and you'll be able to do it without throwing out what you've built and without having to change vendors or infrastructure. For example, let's say you're expanding by adding a new office location, a new attorney, or a new practice type to your firm. You can easily add each of these things to your existing website with a few clicks using LawLytics. And if it makes sense strategically, you can easily deploy additional websites that focus on the new addition or additions. Or let's say you're adding a new partner and changing the name of your firm. With LawLytics, you can easily do this, including changing your firm's name, your logo, and even your domain name without missing a beat. And you never know what marketing challenges you'll face tomorrow. You may have some good publicity that you want to capitalize on, or you may have some negative publicity that you need to mitigate. As a LawLytics member, it's really easy to react and to capitalize in real time because you'll understand what's driving your business, and you'll have the tools, the strategy, and the support you'll need to execute swiftly and efficiently. If you need to start or improve your law firm's website, the best way to discover how LawLytics will simultaneously put you in control of your marketing and take great care of you is to schedule a demo, which can be scheduled at the address on your screen or by visiting LawLytics.com. And I'd encourage you to do that. It takes, like I said earlier, about 20 or 25 minutes. And most attorneys that go through it about 10 or 15 minutes into it, they realize how different this platform and system is, and how it will empower them to not only ignore all the SEO and marketing hype that's constantly bombarding their firm in terms of cold calls and cold emails and so forth, but to set a course that really ensures future business, and even something that is a legacy asset that can carry on beyond their years in practice. It's really encouraging when we see attorneys go through that and they're like, okay, this is what I thought I should be having all along, but everybody's been telling me something so different that I didn't think that something like this existed. So if you're in that position, that 20, 25 minutes that you invest can make a huge difference in the course of your practice's future. And I'd like to encourage you to get that scheduled with us. That's the end of the webinar presentation. I'm going to take a look and see if there are any questions in the questions area. I don't see anything yet, but I'm going to wait about 30 seconds. So if you do have any questions that you're typing in now or want to quickly type something in, I'm happy to answer those. And certainly we're happy to answer questions on a one-on-one basis during the demo or follow-up calls. Okay, I don't see any questions that have come in. I do see a hand raised. Suzanne, I hope that you didn't have technical difficulties. If you did, hopefully we got those taken care of for you with the GoToWebinar control panel. If you have a question, if that's why your hand is up, just let us know, and we're happy to answer that. But other than that, I don't see anything. And so I want to thank you for attending. Hope to see you at one of our future live webinars, and hope to see you schedule a demo. And have a great day.